Stop the cap.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about black men making money versus black women making money, and you know, I guess this would apply universally across the board. And this is not specifically a black people issue, but there's some caveats in this that that I would say are unique to black people in terms of things like inferiority complexes in the face of white supremacy and black people trying to fight for position that will give them some sort of validation and some sort of acknowledgement of their being and their existence. And black people for a very long time have been told that the way that you do that is, to be not just useful to the society, but, to have some sort of skill set, be educated, because there's a lot that goes into the way that white supremacy has basically said that black people are dumb and they're not educated and they don't know anything. And so black people counter that by being educated, by being more intelligent. I'm just, I'm not going into all the hotep stuff about, you know, what black people, brought into Europe and taught Europeans during the freaking dark ages and whatnot. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the freaking American history, you know, slavery and beyond, and basically what we've been dealing with in this country as African Americans. Okay, so I got asked a question based on my last video talking about women and their pursuit of an education and the validation that they don't get in regards to their beauty being acknowledged. It goes back to that Sojourner Truth in her, ain't I a woman? I mean, it's literally like much of African Americans women's existence is ain't I a woman. And I don't know when this happened, probably second wave feminism, but the idea was for, black women to go and pursue an education so that they can, gain access to uh, capital and gain access to, a different tier of existence. Okay. Um, One of the things that I don't like is this whole notion that the only reason why black women pursued an education and the only reason why black women pursue, highfalutin careers is because the black man failed. That's bullshit. That's like a black woman. That's like a black girl is like, oh, I wanted to become an astronaut. It's like, oh, why did you want to become an astronaut? Oh, because black men are failing all over the bullshit, bitch. You wanted to be an astronaut. This is one of the irritating things about black men being made to be the pariah of America. Where even black women try to blame every move that they make on the failures of black men. Like I said, when a chick, a man and a woman are sitting in a car, a black man and a black woman are sitting in the car. Black man gets in the passenger seat because she wants to drive. He goes to fucking sleep. And then, she gets, both of them lost. And then she'll say, well, the only reason we got lost is because you didn't know how to drive. Like, chick, I know how to drive. You wanted to drive. I got in the passenger seat and I took a nap and now we're lost. And they don't want to take any accountability for that. That's another frustrating, aspect. And then you got the whole thing with women who have racing gloves. You know what I mean? Like, don't sit there and act like you didn't want to drive and the only reason you got behind the steering wheel is because black men fail. Oh, he didn't have a license or something. Bitch, you got racing gloves on. You got racing gloves on with your initials, you know what I mean, on the backside of the gloves. Like, stop. You wanted to drive. Driving is fun. Driving is enjoyable, you know, and that's what it is. own that shit. But see, the thing is what the reason why a lot of black women don't own, when they want to be in control and want to be in the driver's seat is one of the things that I'll actually give, some of the hardcore feminists some respect on, because, when they say that they want to run shit, they want to run shit. But you got, I'd argue, a majority of other women out here who they know, like, in other words, they know that they can't be honest and sell feminism to men. So what they do is they say, well, the only reason I'm in this position, or the only reason I'm taking charge, is because men failed, because the way that Western civilization or society is structured is the only way that women can really validate leadership is if men fail. Like not, we're not talking corporate America. We're talking like at the, home and community level. If a man is a drunkard, he failed. If a man is unemployed, he failed. You know what I mean? If a man just doesn't take on the responsibilities, he failed. And underneath those circumstances, a woman can be in charge, and she can pull out the big dick all she wants, because a man legitimately failed and she had to, keep the whole situation afloat. Okay? However, there are women who will intentionally go out there and seek men who are failing or who have never demonstrated leadership, so that they can justify their leadership in the relationship or in the situation or in, the community. So if you go out, if you want to be a woman and you want to justify your leadership, there's no faster way of doing that than to go and get a man who is beneath you. Go get a man who is not equipped, to actually lead. And this is what we've been saying about, the women who they avoid men that have their shit together, and then they go out there and they get with men who don't have their shit together. This is done intentionally. Now, it's very difficult to single this out and point it out to women. You have to go, by a case by case basis. But there's enough cultural examples in the black community that we can say that generally it is a thing in the black community where black women are literally avoiding men that have their shit together and getting with men who are subordinate to them intellectually, financially, or whatever, so that they can justify their leadership and call shots in the relationship. Okay, I know this sounds, antithetical to, what everybody previously believed, because it doesn't make, like, it makes sense, but it's like they couldn't possibly be doing that. Why would they do that? Especially with all the complaints that black women make about, oh, the community's all fucked up and this, that, and the third, right? You would think that they want to see black men win and then black men do the right thing by them. But you have a huge segment of black women who've drank the feminist Kool-Aid, who they're trying to figure out ways to put themselves in leadership position because they believe that the matriarch is the way to be. Again, going back to freaking what's that, the light-skinned bitch's name on the fucking View, talking about the black community, black men are used to matriarchy. So we're supposed to just, accept, this sort of subordinate position. I already told y'all, whether it was via deindustrialization, Vietnam, black men getting hooked on drugs, all the various ways I've talked about, and way black men were marginalized. Yes, culturally speaking, there were a lot of black men who just, like, they accepted the subordinate position. They walked right into it. This is why I don't like the Hoteps. This is why I don't like the Trip Fontaine type of dudes that go up there and start talking all that 50-50 bullshit and everything, and act like, we're on some different shit. Black men were never on that shit. That shit came from the niggas in the 1970s through the 1980s. That's where that shit came from. Okay, the bastards of the party, as Bone would say, in that documentary. Okay, that's where that shit came from. The end of the civil rights movement. The black men before that, they were the black men that were getting their communities, highways ran through. They were the ones that were getting their black communities burnt down. So there's a different wave, just like you got first wave, second wave, third wave feminism and whatnot. There's a group, a segment of black men that in the 1970s, in conjunction with deindustrialization, they were like, well, I can't do anything, so I might as well accept, the fucking matriarchy. I might as well accept, this 50-50, and then like try to have this weird thing going on with them, still claiming to be men and whatnot. And all that did was further contribute to the community being fucked up. Because then after that, you had a bunch of boys that never got to witness or see black male leadership demonstrated. You had women that, sometimes they had their shit together and they were killing it and making money, and then other times, they didn't, but yet they wanted to identify with the idea and concept of women who did. Okay, so that's what transpired. And that's why even now to this day, you got, a segment of black men that are like, nah, men got to be in the proper position. And you got another set of black men that are like, no, they don't. We, all you got to do is lay some pipe to a bitch, or they start talking about third eyes, vibrating at higher frequencies, intangible shit. Because again, money is finite. Money is like an actual thing. It's an actual number. You either have it or you don't. Okay. And if you don't in a patriarchal society, like, you can't have patriarchy. Patriarchy does not work. Male leadership does not work if men are not financially ahead of women. Point blank, period. It just doesn't work. Okay. You have to be ahead, individually and at the collective level. That's the only way that it works. Because there's no reason for a woman to follow you if you have not demonstrated why she should follow you. This is the whole problem with the religiosity of the Bible and the Torah and the fucking Quran. This is the whole reason why that shit is bullshit. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have the resources, you ain't running shit. I don't care how you want to dice it up. The irony is those holy books actually say that. But for some reason, the dudes skip over that part. They love to skip over that part. All these magical, type of brothers. And then again, even when it comes to the magical thinking, a lot of women operate in magical thinking, and mothers who operate in magical thinking end up having sons who operate in magical thinking. And especially if there's no man there, which typically there isn't, because men kind of put a stop to women being fucking magical because they're the ones that are providing everything. So when the women are fucking magical, the boys that they have end up being magical, and then the magicalness just gets reinforced. And this is why this goes right back to Catherine Eden, where you have young men who, like, women do all that, you're beautiful just the way you are, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, you have intrinsic value. Yeah, girls can think that shit all day. It doesn't collapse society. Boys thinking that, when boys are the ones that basically do all the stuff that women don't do in society, build, maintain, and defend the physical infrastructure, them thinking that causes the community to collapse. Okay, because you don't have men of the right mindset. You have men that literally think that they should have just as much intrinsic value as women have. And I'm like, you're not a beautiful woman. Okay, you don't have a uterus. Okay, your value is directly connected to the degree to which you are productive for the greater collective of the community. If you are not productive, then essentially you don't have any value. And a lot of black men have a serious problem. Well, a lot of white men, even recently now, have a serious problem with that because, and notice they only have a problem with it when they can't produce the results. When they can produce the results, oh, absolutely, that's how men are defined, right? But when they're broke, then all of a sudden nobody wants to be defined by what they don't have access to. Okay. And then again, the same thing goes with black women in this whole pursuing careers and everything else like that. I'm not saying it's the only reason black women pursue careers. I'm saying there's a lot to do with the black women who feel that they don't have value in this Western white dominated controlled society, where it's like, okay, well, what other ways can I have value? Oh, if I go and I get a career, I will have value. And this is where women make the mistake of thinking, like, completely ignoring biology and thinking that they go off and get a career or something like that, that men are going to find them attractive, or that they're owed, a relationship. Okay. Men are not wired like women. They're just simply not. A woman having more money or a greater career does not mean that man is going to find her more sexually attractive. She's either attractive or she's not. She's either pretty or she's not. She either has a fat ass or she's not. Her financial standing does not make her more attractive. Okay. If anything, the man, he's making maybe he doesn't have his shit together. He needs a couch to sleep on or some shit like that. He's making a calculated decision as to whether he wants to get with her. But that does not mean when he goes to sleep at night that he's fantasizing about her. And you get a lot of women black women who will get into relationships like that, thinking that because they have the career and that they got a man, that everything is good. And that man don't really want her. That's not who he fantasizes about. You know what I mean? That's not the energy of his dick. Like it's not focused on her. Additionally, on top of that fact, one of the main reason why this whole role reversal shit doesn't work is because women are not geared and oriented because their female identity is not tied to taking care of men and children. Okay, most of the black women who've gone off and I got my PhD and I got my education and I got this, that, and the third. Okay, like I said, they did that because, in part because of the concept and idea of the inferiority complex, and also they wanted to have veto power in a relationship. There's a lot of women, look, I'm not saying patriarchy is perfect. Patriarchy is a system where ultimately, at the end of the day, men have final say. Why do men have final say? Men have final say because ultimately men are the ones that are going to be charged with, the accountability if something fails. Okay. And men that are expected to go out there and get things done do need to be in control of a situation in order to get things done. Like if I say, move in this direction. Like, I don't have time to argue with you. Move in this direction. Okay, because everything falls on me. The responsibility falls on me. If you're not going to cooperate as a woman, I can't protect you. You can't sit there and say, "Oh, the black woman's not protected," because you're not willing to follow. Okay, I don't know. I don't know where we went for millennia after millennia of this dynamic. Even in Africa, and then all of a sudden, over the last 50 years, women are like, I don't have to listen to you or I don't have to follow you just because. I'm like, bitch, it's not just because. I don't have time to argue with you. Because men of other groups that we're competing with and defending against, you know what I mean? They just simply make moves. White men didn't ask the white woman permission to go into Africa and enslave, hundreds of millions of people. He just went in there and fucking did it. You see? And white, it's funny because white women will sit there and act like, oh, white men are evil too, and bitch, shut the fuck up. You were sitting right there, looking at yourself in the mirror with all them blood diamonds wrapped around your neck. Shut the fuck up. They kill me with that shit. But anyway, women go along for the ride. They go along for what is beneficial to them and what is beneficial to their children. They do not. While women run around trying to act like they're the moral compass of the world, women are not the motherfucking moral compass of the world. Women go in the direction of the men that have the fucking power. I'm not saying all of them like it. I'm not saying all of them don't, that women don't have their own moral compass and recognize wrong for wrong, but women will do what is in their best interest in order to fucking survive. And that's what they're going to do. And some women will do that more willingly than others. Same thing. Black women, all the black men, they selling drugs in the community. They shooting each other, da 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 da. But yet all these drug dealers in the black community got girlfriends. All these drug dealers in the black community got baby mamas. So let's stop the bullshit. Let's stop the bullshit. Again, I seen y'all in Philly riding around in the Dodge Hellcat with the fucking 22-inch rims with the 30 profile tire. Shut the fuck up. I seen you. Stop acting like you ain't with the dude. That's why you got shot at. That's why you got a bullet in your wrist, because the ops were looking for your boyfriend, and they know that you his girl, and they just saw you and they figured you was with him in the car, and they just started licking shots at the car and you got hit. Let's stop the bullshit. Stop the bullshit. But anyway, a lot of these women, they want veto power in the relationship, because they go to these examples of hyper abusive men that were just, Danny Glover in The Color Purple. Alice Walker still pisses me off with that shit. The fact that she went off, married a Jewish man, had a biracial daughter. Her own daughter calls her to fuck out as being a neglectful mother. And then was engaged in a lesbian relationship, and yet you got all these black feminists running around worshiping her. I'm like, you married a Jewish man and then you wrote a book about a mythological evil black man. Bitch, fuck you. Fuck that 80-year-old black woman. Anyway, but no, women are not men. When a man says, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be, he's like, I want to make, X amount of dollars so that number one, I can attract the woman that I want. Okay, this is the whole thing where the black women and the feminists on equality and all that other shit. Okay, that I don't need to look good for a man. I don't need to control my weight for a man. Motherfuckers did not go through school and all the shit that they went through to make money so that they can get a woman that they're not attracted to. On top of the fact, I don't even know why y'all try to force that, because many of you all are so obsessed with the idea of a man validating you and actually wanting you and thirsting you that you that's not a situation you can force. That's not a situation you can shame. Okay, if he doesn't want you, if his eyes don't bubble when he sees you, they just don't bubble. There's nothing that you can do beyond, things that are directly connected to beautification that is going to make him want you and thirst you sexually. Sexually, he can get into your personality. He can, like, you're a generous person. He can look at you and say that you're a great mother. Those things are factors. I'm not saying that they aren't. But what I'm saying is most guys that go off and go through the grind and try to say, I want to be a man that's making a decent income to be able to attract a woman that I want, that is what they're focused on, in conjunction with the idea that they're going to be taking care of that woman. No dude goes off and gets his master's, his PhD, his doctorate, or whatever, and says, yup, and I'm not going to be taking care of my wife and kid. No dude goes off and fucking says that. They know what their role is. And because they, again, knew what their role was, they're like, hey, I got to make a lot of money. I need to make some serious money. Okay? Point blank, period. And when it comes to men, and I can't say this definitively, how much is it that men are motivated by, those two things, being able to attract the woman that they want and being able to provide for a family and getting that positive male identity? I think it's pretty high on the list. Okay. I don't know many guys that would pursue, or max out like they do if you took that away. A lot of those people are like sociopaths, the people that are just like, I must be number one. I must be the richest man in the world. Like, most guys don't operate like that. You take away women and children, you take away women and family, you take away that positive male identity, and most men, not all, most men will shut the fuck down. Okay, they will shut down. Okay, they will not go out. This is what women are complaining about now. Men are not going to bars. They're not going to brunches. They're not going to the dating events because the economy is all fucked up. Employers are playing games, and the man's like, I ain't got no money. Why the fuck am I going to go out? I don't have money to splurge on women. It's not the early 2000s. Okay, I ain't got that. So I'm going to stay my ass home. I'm going to fire up this Xbox. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go play me some Call of Duty. And that's what the fuck I'm going to do. Because you know what that cost me? That cost me the Xbox Live membership. And that cost me, my internet connection. And that's it. Okay? That's not me going to the bar and spending $130 on fucking drinks and walking out of the bar, with no number. You know what I mean? Or some, silly shit where the girl that you actually want to talk to tries to get you to pay for the drinks of all of her friends. And if you don't, you're dusty. You see? Men are sick of that shit. Plus you got social media, DMs, all that stuff. There's other ways to be more effective, in gaining access to women. But again, in a bad economy, a lot of dudes, they just don't want to be seen. They just ghost. They disappear. And that's why you see all this alpha male content of men trying to find ways of improving themselves despite a dire economic situation. Okay. But notice you don't see that with women. You don't see women, or more women, I should say, trying to improve themselves. Six the Goddess got a channel over there, makeup, everything else. Y'all should be following the fuck out of Six the Goddess. You know what I'm saying? Makeup tutorials. The last video that she did talking about the election, eye makeup was slamming. I love that shit. I love that shit. Let me say it again. I motherfucking love that shit. Okay? But how many sisters do you see out there, wearing face full of makeup and whatnot, and not looking like, a drag queen? How many understand the concept of less is more? Very few. Very few. Y'all got the snuffleupagus eyelashes and shit, and the Vegeta eyebrows and whatnot, and y'all think y'all look cute, and you got the baby edges laid down, and the lace fronts and shit like that, imitation white women's hair. Then you mad to see a black man walking around with a white woman that literally has that hair that you just laid down. Like, it's fucking nonsense. But what else was I going to say about this whole thing? Nah, women are not oriented to take care of, men and children, and like y'all go in, you go in to get an education, you know, aside from the women that's really what they just want to do. But a lot of y'all go in and you pursue an education so that, it adds value to who you are as a black woman, because this society doesn't value you. And you want to have veto power in the relationship if you have any sort of, feminist mindset, because you want to go directly to situations of abuse. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say that there were no situations of abuse, or that black women don't have any, examples of where this, where these situations went on. Do I think it was the majority of black relationships in the past? Fuck no, not even close. Not even close. You know what I mean? It's like those unsolved mystery TV shows and shit like that, or TV show where, there's like all, in a small town, like, and then like some woman gets murdered by her husband, and it's like, do white women run around screaming like white men are killing us all the time? Because white men do kill them. You know what I mean? But it's not a it's like you can't take like 1% of the population and then magnify it to the vast majority of men in that population. The same thing with rape and sexual assault. You can't sit there and grab that and then, just run with it. You know what I mean? I think sexual assault is like 5% of men actually, engage in sexually assaulting, a woman, right? It's like 5%. Don't quote me on that. I'm gonna double look at what the number is. But I'm saying, so you're just going to ignore the other 95% of men? Is it just the dumbest thing? Like the feminist rhetoric, the evils of men and this, that, and the third, is the dumbest thing. Because now you got a situation where, men have just shut down. Y'all have hashtag Me Too'd it to death, which, real talk, is only the only guys that are doing that are the confident men. You know what I mean? That may be a little bit overbearing, but the only dudes that are running up to you talking about trying to actually holler at you, it's not every dude. It's not every dude, because a lot of y'all are bitching about the dudes that you actually fucking want. They pretty much ignore you. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying ignore you because, you're unattractive or that they're not interested in you. A lot of times we do see you. Okay. But men can also be shy and insecure. Okay. A lot of y'all women, when you have to approach a man, after 3 rejections, y'all bitches shut the fuck down. Okay, men deal with rejection on a constant basis. And there's a lot of men, it's not a matter that they can't handle rejection. They don't like rejection. It doesn't feel good. You know what I mean? So if I'm out and about and I'm drinking my latte and I'm in my happy place, the last thing I want to do is go up, walk up to a bitch and approach her and shoot my shot. You know what I mean? When she's giving me no indicators, it's like a fucking cold call. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Hello. Am I speaking to Jonathan? Click. You know what I'm saying? Like who likes cold calls? Nobody likes cold calls. You know what I mean? It's different if a woman is looking at you, giving you the green light, like, hey, if you talk to me, I don't bite. Okay. But sometimes you may notice a woman before she notices you. Okay. And you see her and, excuse me, miss. And then you get the whole dynamic where a lot of women, They engage in you complimenting them because it boosts their ego, but they have no intention of fucking getting with you. Even women with boyfriends, they're just like, oh, tell me, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Just tell me, tell me. Oh, I'm married. Oh, I'm married. But I like to hear how fine I am. And let me go home and remind my husband that there's men out there that are still interested in me. So I'm just saying, a lot of times, like as men, we just get sick and tired of that shit. We get sick and tired of the dates that go nowhere. We get sick and tired. Y'all talk about y'all getting ghosted. It's funny listening to women talk about how much they get ghosted. Again, you all are sharing the minority of men that you all actually want. Got all the sixes, 6 foot, six figures, drives a 6 series, all that shit. You are the population that only swipes right 5% of the time on dating apps. Okay, men have a way bigger palette than y'all have. Tall bitches, short bitches, skinny bitches, fat bitches. You know what I'm saying? Bitches with a big wide ass, pear-shaped bitches. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, we don't like the apple-shaped bitches, but pear-shaped bitches. Bitches that got a fat ass only because they have a tremendous amount of lymphedema in the lower portion of their body. Y'all know them chicks, right? They got a lot of water on the knees. Yeah, that's lymphedema. That's not thickness. But I know guys, they love that shit. I'm like, ew, bro. But they love it. And I kind of get it because in jeans it looks crazy, right? It looks like, who's that chick? Who's that Latina chick that you see on Instagram with the ginormous ass and shit? That shit is lymphedema. On top of the fact that the extra body work that she, got done in addition, she got the BBL type of shit. She added to the lymphedema that she already had, but that's a whole nother conversation. Okay, but I'm saying have men have a wide palette. If you have 5 guys and we walk into a fucking bar, like maybe 2 of us will be attracted to the same chick. But generally speaking, our tastes don't really overlap. You know what I mean? One guy likes blondes, the other guy likes brunettes, the other guy likes Latinas, the other guy likes sisters, the other guy likes Asian women. You know what I mean? Or then you get into the style. One guy likes a chick that's on freaking steampunk type of outfits. The other dude likes a gothic chick. The other dude likes a street chick that wears fucking, Jordans and tight jeans. Another dude likes, the freaking Abercrombie and Fitch white girl or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's if you have a mixed demographic. Even if you don't have a mixed demographic, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers, generally speaking, like I remember I went to a bar one time and the guy, he was a titty man. He was a titty man. And we went together and I was with, a chick at the hospital that I was trying to get at. Okay, so she was like, oh, can I bring my friend? I'm like, sure, bring your friend. So I'm scrambling, trying to find a dude to bring. Chick comes, she runs track, and I'm gonna be real. She had a better body than the chick from the hospital that I was trying to get at. So I'm sitting there looking at her, and the chick from the hospital was a light skinned chick, and the chick that ran track was dark skinned chick. I was feeling the dark skinned chick, and midway through, I'm kind of sitting there thinking, nigga, you want to swap? You want to swap? Because he was talking to her, and everything was cool. The problem is that he was one of these titty guys. Okay, he likes them Breonna Taylor built women. He likes all that, them big breast, like the chick that wears the, what do you call that? The blouse, not a blouse, but like the t-shirt that where the breasts, they're big fat titties, but it's just a big old crack. It's just a line right down the middle. That's what he likes. And I don't like that shit because that shit 9 times out of 10 usually comes with a stomach. You know what I mean? It ain't no type of athleticism. You know what I mean? But he was a titty man. And like Cap's a leg man. He likes legs. Me, I like ass and thighs and an hourglass shape. That's my thing. Give me a skinny chick. Give me a bitch built like porn star Tiger Safari. Nigga, I'm gone. Them bubble butt, them skinny bubble butt with a small waist sisters, that's me all day. Now that doesn't mean that I don't like other type of shapes. I'm just saying I do have a special type of weakness for the bubble butt and the fucking the Fatima Diame built bitches. Yes, I do have a special type of weakness for that. The alien build, yes, because I'm a fucking tall ass alien built motherfucker myself, even though I go to the gym. But still, okay, I'm just pointing out that men have way bigger of a palate than women do. So when y'all be running around on the internet, boo, boo, I'm like, bitch, shut the fuck up. On top of the fact that, again, unfortunately, in the black community, you all have there's way more mothers than there are fathers in the black community, which further reinforces the fact that you all are sharing men. I don't understand the reasoning or logic of sharing men. Okay, his resources are split. Okay, he's you have all these broken homes and dysfunctional children and whatnot. Why would you sit there and look at a man that already has kids by somebody else? Why do y'all do that competition bullshit? Like, bitch, yeah, so what? But he's my man now, and he's got two kids by two different women. Why would you walk into that? Why are y'all doing that? That's not a question to ask black men, because the majority of black men are not engaged in that. Hell, the majority of fathers are not engaged in that. That's a minority of black men. But yet, like I said, you know, Cam Newton, you got one man and you got three women. Future, you got one man and you got eight different women on the bullshit. You know what I mean? Country Wayne, what does he have? Like 10 baby mamas? What does Country Wayne have? I forget what Country Wayne has. But I'm saying you got one man and at the very least eight different baby mamas. You know what I mean? So when you run that out, you know what I mean? It goes back to that, one for you, one for me, 1, 2 for you, 2 for me, 1, 2, 3 for you, 3 for me, 1, 2, 3, 4 for you, 4 for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you all will always outstrip us. It's not even debatable. And the problem is a lot of y'all end up coming back on the market because your relationship failed. And like I said, that 42% of the 13.4 million black women in total that are mothers, are having babies underneath the age of 20. You know what I mean? Like that, like by 25, I think it's like 77% of the black women who are ever going to be mothers are mothers. You know what I mean? And what's so crazy is 25. That's about the age that any black man that goes into college at 18, graduates at 22, yeah, and at 20 and 2 years after that, if they go straight through, they'll be 24, 25, going on 25 when they graduate and they get their master's. And that's if they went straight fucking through. If they go straight through, when they get out, 77% of black women that are ever going to be mothers have already had kids. And then the second wave, which is that less than 25%, is after the age of 25. That's where all your mature people are. That's typically where all your financially stable people are. The women who kind of delayed marriage, not delayed marriage, delayed having children, those are going to be the women, especially if they maintain themselves and they look good, and they out here looking like 60 goddess. Those will be, the women that dudes are trying to wife up. Wait a minute, she look that good and she ain't got no kids and she ain't on no feminist shit and man, please. It's so easy, it's not even funny. But y'all want to fight the universe. You want to fight, what men actually fucking want and then think you're going to win. Dumb. Y'all bitches are dumb for that shit. But in terms of like women pursuing careers and shit like that, at the end of the day, men, it's different because men are pursuing it so that they can get the positive male identity, get the woman that they want and provide for a family. All of that is encompassed. The shit that y'all are doing, what is it? 2 out of the 3 are antithetical to family. You know what I mean? Actually, 3 out of the 3 are fucked up because, number one, your career does not contribute to whether a man finds you attractive or not. It's not the same thing. It's not a 1-to-1 ratio when it comes to a man having more money equates to more women being attracted to him. And the sad part is because you got all that feminist stuff with women that are trying to avoid men that have their shit together, that ends up being a situation where non-black women will find the black man that has resources attractive. And then you all end up losing out on that. And then you start complaining and coming online. How come I don't get to enjoy in that? Because you wasn't trying to follow. That's why you don't get to enjoy in that. Right. Then you have so you got the women that think that, them having a career is going to equate to men finding them more attractive. Wrong. Going to the gym is going to equate to men finding you more attractive. Not your title, not your career. Okay. The other thing is women are not trying to take care of men. They're not trying to take care of a family. So further reinforcing why your money doesn't matter, because you ain't going to spend it on him. I mean, you got sisters up there on, what was that, on Angel Reese, the chick that talking about, do I look like I do 50-50? Do I look like I do 50-50? You know what I mean? Like, okay, so where do you get my career should matter? You ain't gonna spend it on him. You can't be a doctor or a lawyer or a CPA or a judge. You can't make upwards of $150,000 and not spend it on a bitch and expect her to want to be with you. There's no such thing. There is no such thing as you making that much money and you ain't spending it on a bitch somehow, some way. Even if it comes down to the lifestyle and you ain't buying Birkin bags. Okay, she's there because you got the apartment or the condo overlooking the city. Okay, she's with you because you got the nice BMW, right? She knows that she's beautiful and she's fine, and that many men want her. Why isn't she going to get with the dude that's got more? Okay, so you have that aspect, and then what's the other thing when it comes to the thing that women have wrong? The veto power in the relationship. Y'all think that, well, I got my money, so anything I don't want to do, I can just say, well, fuck your opinion or fuck what you trying to do. I'm going to go and take my money and I'm going to go over here. Going back to that girl on We Need to Talk, talking about he's going to have his house and I'm going to have my house. I think it was episode 57. That chick. Okay. I think it was either episode 57 or the other episode that she was in. I think it was like 23 or I want to say it was 23. I could be wrong, but it was definitely 57. For some reason, I remember that number. And she was like, well, I'm going to have my house and he going to have his house. What? What are you talking about? See, this is the whole, I want to have veto power. I don't trust black men. I don't trust their leadership. Okay, well, don't trust my leadership over there, chick. Don't come over here. Don't trust it over there, because you're not going to be chosen. And then you get the women that they got I don't know, there's black women who they like to compare themselves to Pookie, and they like I got my associates. The great that girl, that's wonderful that you got your associates, okay, and then they've come across a dude that has his doctorate. And remember, like white people, they're told that black men are at the bottom and they're supposed to be beneath them. So when you end up with a black man that is blowing a black woman out the water, there's a lot of black women, despite the fact that they're attracted to black men that are in that position, or they want to be validated. I think that's more accurate. They want to be validated by men that are in that position. They don't like the way that it makes them feel, because they feel like black men are taking their shine. Because remember, black women in Western civilization, they feel, going back to Kimberly Crenshaw, that they're not valued like that. So it's like, okay, if I'm not being valued in my beauty, okay, well, I got to be valued in my career. But how am I supposed to be valued in how he's taking my shine? You know what I mean? How is he supposed to be better than me? I need that light, because I'm not valued in any other way. I need to be the one that's kicking ass. But the stupid thing is like it's like the world doesn't care. The men that you're trying to be with don't care. That's great that you have this accomplishment and you have this fucking career, but bitch, I gotta play my fucking position. Because you know what happens when I don't play my position? Do I look like a woman that does 50-50? All these niggas are dust. See, we don't have another position to play. We don't. And I'm saying that's reinforced by even all of you. Y'all niggas is insecure. We should be insecure with the way that y'all throw around dust so freely. You know what I mean? We should recognize, oh no, shit, man, please. I ain't getting involved in that relationship. There's levels to the shit, and I ain't on her level, right? A man should recognize what type of subordinate position he's going to be in if he gets with a woman that's kicking ass like that. He should recognize that, and he should abort. He should avoid. He should go in the other direction. Because if he doesn't, then he's going to not only get emasculated, but all he's doing is reinforcing the matriarchy. He's reinforcing the idea of his own sons not witnessing male leadership, his own sons that are going to be expected to go out there and compete and challenge other races of men who don't ask their women permission to do a goddamn thing. So, while y'all run around, oh, it's your ego, it's your ego, it's your ego. I don't give a fuck what you want to call it. It's just simply not done. It's simply not done, especially given our current situation. It's just simply not done. You can sprinkle all the Hotep, Israelite, white Jesus, Yahweh, Most High, Allah shit that you want to sprinkle on it. It's just simply not done. I don't give a fuck. So, that's the difference. That's the difference between men and women when it comes to this fucking money shit and all this, why can't it be, we're progressive, why can't it be this way? As though 50 years of the black community, is in its current condition doesn't tell you just how much that shit doesn't work. I don't know what y'all are smoking. For further evidence, I direct you to the conditions of a black community near you. And with that said, I'm done with this video. That's my video, SWP. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe. And shout out to the brothers that have been hitting my Cash App. I gotta, give people actual legitimate shout outs and whatnot. I will make a specific video for that. It's just this, all this stuff has been coming up, the election, and in other areas, I've been extremely busy. So that's why the videos, because a lot of people have been calling, you need to put out some content. Because if you notice, I picked it up probably over this weekend, but prior to that, what was I putting out? Maybe 1 or 2 videos a week, something like that. You know what I mean? So, I'm just trying to get stuff out. Anyway, that's my video, SWPL. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe. I got another video coming that I got to upload. Probably upload it after this one. I kind of bring up some of the similar points, but it was mostly about the election and just kind of where the world is going and what the fuck is going on. And it's, it's all tied and connected to, these relationship problems, low birth rates, all that stuff, but, and the economy and everything. But anyway, that's my video, SWPL. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe.